Hi everybody, it's Miss Jennifer, and we are going to combine our mindfulness lesson and our art lesson today and make some super fun monster cards. A few months back, I think it was in February, we talked about drawing different emotions and identifying our feelings to help us know how to negotiate the world. So today, let's combine a couple of those things to make these fun cards. So, first thing I'm going to do, for those of you who have not been with us before, we're using an artist trading card, which is 2.5 by 3.5. Today we're going to need some color pencils, pencil and eraser, Sharpie, and this right here is a texture plate. It has ridges on it, and you might not have one of those, but you can make your own by gluing paper onto another piece of paper, or you could use a brick or maybe even some sandpaper. If you don't have any of those things, that's fine. Leave the texture part off. You can see here the texture on these guys, and although it does make it look pretty cool, that one has the handmade one. I think they all do. So let's go ahead and get started. We can do the feelings as we talked about, or we can just begin. Now, one way to start, now I made these for the kids here and for kids, is to start with the top of the head. Now, I want these to be at the top of the card. Now, you notice what makes them look kind of monster-y is they don't really have necks. It goes right into their body. So we put the face in the top part of the card and the top of the head at the top, and nothing, we just leave it white. So we could do hair, horns, ears, antenna, little hairs, zigzags, whatever you want is perfectly fine. So let's begin by taking our pencil and watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw the arch right straight across here. And this will be, this is the easiest way to do it. Now, from that arch, I could go ahead and give him some curls coming up, like this. And then maybe I want to give him an antenna also. So once you have the arch, you can add on. Instead of trying to just draw that hair, I can do it in this way. So we'll go ahead and give him this hair. Now, we can decide on what kind of eye. So I guess the best thing to do is think about what we want our mood to be. And I think we should have a happy mood. And happy is going to be where the eyes go. Well, let's start with eyebrows. The eyebrows go up high like this. And then the eyes are kind of up and then flat on the bottom. And the reason why they go flat on the bottom when you smile is because your cheeks squeeze up. So it makes your eyes look this way. And then sometimes you have laugh lines here as well. And we can go ahead and give a straightforward look to our monster. And we will give a great big grin. Now, since it's a monster, we don't have to do it in proportion in any kind of way. So I'm just going to draw a big smile all the way across. Now, if we go like this, so instead of making it go in, we make it go out, and that's where the cheek would be. And I think we should have some teeth on our monster. So I'm going to make the grin come down. Now, I'm going to do the teeth like regular people teeth would be. And it's important to remember this central axis that we've learned about is going to apply to the teeth. So you want your biggest teeth in the front, and then the teeth get smaller as they go back. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect because it is a monster. And then we will add a bottom lip here and some eyelids because he's smiling. You can add a nose if you want to, but that is not required. Now we're going to grab our Sharpie, and I have a thick Sharpie here, and we are just going to outline everything so that we can then proceed to color. And notice I'm leaving that curved line I drew earlier out of it. because we don't need that anymore. That was just kind of a guideline. And artists use the guidelines a lot. So a lot of new beginner drawers will try to draw those details and get caught up in the details of it. And it's really more important that the shape of the head is intact. And then whatever you put on the top is going to look fine. And that is the story of that. Okay. Now, this is super easy, not hard at all. And notice I do have all this area blank at the bottom. And that's where the texture plates come in handy. Now, texture is an element of art that refers to the way things feel or look like they would feel. So this will be we're actually using a real texture. You can really feel it, but we will be drawing an implied texture. It will just look like you can feel it. So it's an important difference there. Now let's talk a little bit about color theory. If you notice on my monsters here, what I did, and I encourage you to really try hard on the coloring part of this, because half the time it's not the drawing, but the coloring that's going to catch people's eyes. So you want to go from colors that blend from one to the other. So this one I did purple, red, pink, orange, yellow, green, yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, red, blue, dark blue, purple. And all of these are analogous colors, meaning they're right next to each other in the color wheel. So you could think about hot colors, yellow, orange, red. This would go perfectly. That's what this one is here. Okay? And you could also do, here's another set. We have light green, dark green, blue. Any way you want to do it. So like I could do orange, yellow, green. But that's a little bit harder to blend if you jump over to the other side of the color wheel. So let's just try the hot colors and see how that works for us today. Now, we always remember to erase before we begin our coloring, because once you color, you cannot erase. So you notice I waited a minute to make sure my ink is nice and dry, especially if you're using ballpoint pen, because it's easy to smear. And I'm going to grab my texture plate here. And you're just going to put it underneath. Actually, let me use this one. This is the one I made. I just cut out circles, and can you see? And I put it on this other sheet. So this will make it look like he is kind of like giraffe skin, maybe. So you're just going to hold it down with one hand. You're going to grab your darkest color. Well, actually, I think because I want the background white, I will make the bottom yellow, top red. How does that sound? So notice what I'm going to do. I have this nice and sharp, and I'm going to color it to the sideways. See how I'm using my pencil sideways? Can you see the texture showing up? Now I'm going to go up about a third of the way, and notice that I need to come around and get the sides. So that's one thing you don't want to skimp on, is doing the whole thing. And we'll talk a little bit more in a minute on how to finish that up. But if you have something like this, it's important that you don't move this from this, because you wouldn't be able to keep that. You see the spot showing up? All right, so now we're going to grab our orange, and I'm going to do the same thing. But I'm also going to blend downwards. See, very lightly blend downwards and then go up. Now, you don't want to color in the teeth or the eyeballs. So a lot of my kids just get crazy going on with this color here, and they color in the eyeballs and they color in the teeth. But because we are doing a lot of color here, we do not want to color in the white, so that those items will show up very well. Now I'm almost to the top. If you feel the spots underneath, you can press a little bit harder. And I think I need to blend a little more down with the orange here. Okay, looking pretty good. Now it's time to start with the red. So we're going to take the red and we're going to color in up here. And we're going to color in nice and dark so we can see the texture. And we're doing the side of our pencil once again. Now it's okay to color right over that black part because you can't really hide the black with your red. It's not enough to cover it up. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the point and get the very top here and get it as dark as I can so it will show up from the white. If you wanted to give another color here for the antenna, you could. I'm just going to stick to my color gradation. That's where you go from one color to the next, blending as you go. And I'm doing it nice and dark at the top. If that makes sense. And so now is really where the finesse comes in. We're going to go in and color everything and blend this orange and red together a little bit. And notice I still have not removed that texture plate from behind. But I think I'm ready. Before I take this off, I'm going to go around the edge of this with the red, just to make it pop a little bit more at the bottom. The yellow is a little bit hard to see, but it would be way harder to see up there near the top by the white. So we'll just put a little bit of red here. And now I'm ready to remove that card. And at this point, I can go in and color in around the eyes a little bit darker. Make them really stand out because the eyes do have a darker around it. And I might want to put some red around the lips. Emphasize the lips, trying to avoid getting that red in the teeth there. And it is starting to look like a very cool monster. I still can work back and forth with the blending of the colors. Just very lightly blending from point A to point B so they have a nice color range. And I think this looks pretty good. What you don't want to do here is hurry too much. You want it to be nice and bold colors because, come on, it is a monster. Now, what color do you think we should do the eyes? Maybe we'll bring this yellow up to the top and put it right in here in the eyes. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of yellow. And there you have it. A lovely monster card. Now these are super fun. You can make as many as you want with many different colors. And sometimes you might try, so usually hot colors are more like angry and stuff. This is kind of bright and orangey. But you know, blue colors is usually more sad or, so try working with some colors and some facial expressions like we learned earlier to see if you can make some monsters that talk about feelings. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and have a wonderful night. Bye.